What's up, everybody? It's Brandon from Box Office Banner and Cult Flick Symposium. I'm here, of course, to talk to you about another movie, this one in the form of Past Lives. Feels like forever, because I wanted to see this movie when it came out pretty badly. You know, I'm a big fan of A24. Romance kind of hit or miss with me, but there's something about the trailer that stuck with me on this particular one, and of course, again, A24 is going to help me get in the theater. When it came out, my theater wasn't showing it. And then out of nowhere, one day, my theater was like, oh, we are showing it, like maybe a month or two later. And because of shit I had going on at that time and limited show times, a lot of times there were while I was at work, so I had to see it at a particular time on the weekend. You know, you got the family and all that shit. It didn't necessarily work out. I didn't get to see it then either. But it finally came to Blu-ray, people. And I'm here to tell you if it is good or not. Was it worth the wait? Yes, this movie was pretty damn good. I am not over the moon about this movie, but then again, I never am about love stories. But this one definitely did resonate with me. And I'll tell you why. This movie, much like every fucking A24 movie, just feels realistic. It doesn't feel so stylized and polished and necessarily have the happy ending or the sad ending you necessarily see coming. It plays out in some weird kind of way where you're just authentically watching people play out, you know, their current lives or past lives or future lives. Yeah, I'm not giving spoilers. This might just go full on, I don't know, into the future on some fucking sci-fi shit. Okay, that doesn't happen. Is that a spoiler though? Or like I was hoping that was gonna happen? Point being, the damn movie just feels authentic. Authenticity. And I think a lot of people in today's, you know, quick screen grab, TikTok type age don't have the patience for films like these. But then there's people like me and possibly you watching this review that can watch movies or just A24 movies for the most part in general where it's refreshing, where some people are like, oh my God, A24 movies suck. They're so boring. They're so bland. Not all of them, but, you know, you can tell they won't appeal to the masses. But then people like me or you can watch it and be like, damn, like that felt grounded in reality. That didn't feel so in your face. That didn't feel so scripted. It felt just like I watched a couple of people live out, you know, their daily struggle. Those struggles that you might go through that you're like, oh my God, in the moment, this isn't happening to anybody. Nobody can feel how I can feel. Yes, maybe not on this specific subject matter, but everybody in the world is going through something. Some people are more outward about it, some people are more inward about it, keeping it in. And when you watch this movie play out, much like many A24 films, it's like you get a peek behind the curtain, and that really adds an element of realism to this movie that I think really puts it over the edge of a lot of romantic movies. Like this isn't gonna be your, you know, your Little Black Book, or if that's even a fucking romance movie, you know what I mean? Like I think it's a name of a romantic movie. You know, P.S. I Love You, where there's just like you can feel the Hollywood in it. Not saying they're bad movies, but there's something that it feels like when you're watching this movie again, it feels real. I think this was amazingly performed by Greta Lee. I believe that's how you say her name. I'm not 100% sure how to say the next guy's name. Even more, Teo Yo, is that how you say it, or Yo? Both of these people, you know, coming, if you don't know the story, they grew up together. They had to split up as Greta, or a character in the movie, her name becomes Nora when she goes to the States, you know, to live a life, pursue a dream. I know something about that, not from my personal being, but my wife is from Oaxaca, Mexico, and her family brought her over here. So, you know, to just whether her parents or her, just to really pursue a dream, feeling like they were not in a place where they could really flourish and really take off. And for her family to come there and rip away this childhood, almost feeling like love from the beginning, was just, you know, stuff like that. We're supposed to leave it in the past. You know, we were just kids. But there's things in life in general where we can just be like, damn, like, doesn't seem like a lot, but it meant a lot to me. And you could tell they had a strong bond from those beginning stages. And then they meet up again on, you know, just like fucking what do you call it? Like FaceTime basically, where he's like, this might be weird, I'm reaching out to you, and they end up finding each other. I'm not gonna give you every little detail of how they did it, but they find each other again. Now they start talking as adults, you know, kind of just like, oh man, like look, it's you. I can't believe it's you. Like, why is this weird? Is this happening? And they become best friends again, almost like they're dating, but they're not dating. And then they awkwardly have to end that conversation for whatever reason. Again, they have to lay it to bed. I won't say exactly why. And then they meet up for really kind of the third act, a little bit before that, where you have the bulk of the story where he comes into her life again. And you're wondering what can happen. And this is just, it feels like a love story that can happen to anybody. Now, it might not be to this degree, but I feel like everybody has had that type of relationship or that type of someone. I hope my wife ain't watching this. Jeez. But you know what I mean. There's always been, I think everybody's got that one person, even my wife, I'm sure, where it's just like, you know, might not necessarily want them in your life right now because you are happy. You know, even the Nora character has a husband in this movie and he's well portrayed as well. It just, we all have that one person where we're just like, man, like even if, you know, I'm happy and everything's good and like I'm not thinking about it, there was at least a time where I had this person where I was just like, man, like if they didn't move away, or if like, oh dude, like how did I not know she liked me? Now she's married. Everybody's got that person from your past life that you just wonder what would have happened. And seeing that person come in now that Nora's married, and watching, you know, the man just being like, you know damn well, like, even if he's not being overbearing about it, he wants her. He wants this situation. It feels like it's all coming full circle, but there's still that little last red herring where it's not quite, because now she's married and you don't want to steal her away. It's awkward. These type of situations happen in everyday life. Usually in movies, they overdo it. They try to look for every little motherfucking, like, how crazy can we make this movie? How crazy can we make this movie? But this is the type of story that's so simple down to every detail, but is dramatic and doesn't have to reach for the crazy, because this is something that we've all experienced to some degree in some form, and all, or we can, you know, grab from just like, oh man, what if that would just cause some pain? That would be insane. Sometimes simple works and sometimes simple is good. This is also very well directed by Celine Song. I really looking forward to see what else she can do. But the movie's powered by really great, realistic performances and just really just scavenging on like our what if factor, whether it be this or something else in life, and kind of just, you can really pull it into your own life, just like, man, chances, opportunities, which way to go, what if, you know, this situation works, like what if we had more than one life, what if there is fucking alternate universes, and like in this universe I'm with this person, or this universe I took this job, or this universe I did this. It really opens up your mind and makes you think and just sit there with it. And when I got done watching the movie, I honestly have got to say I was a little underwhelmed, but that was more a bit of my high hopes, I guess you could say. Like, I still thought it was a really good movie, but I was like, damn, I really wanted to love that movie. But this is still upper echelon for me, not being a big romance movie fan. I still was like, this is pretty damn good. But it's one of those that sits with you. When you watch that final frame lay to rest, and it just kind of, not, I don't want to say abruptly ends. I'm not going to say every little detail. I don't want to fucking give away too much on this movie, obviously, people. But it does kind of leave you with just like a thanking moment. Like, damn. Like, man. Like, okay. How do I feel about that one? You know, it doesn't, a movie you're like, oh, I loved it, or damn, that sucked. Like, or, you know, I liked it. It was kind of like, I liked it, but there was a but afterwards. Like, man, that was, and then and it kind of washes over you. It makes you think more. And then by the next day, I watched this one at night. I woke up and I was like, you know, that as expected, because I was kind of pondering on it as I was falling asleep. I was like, damn, like that. There's a subtle deepness to this movie that I really enjoy and I really love, and the authentic way it plays out. I think Past Lives is a damn good movie. I want to give it a great. I want to go the 8 out of 10 route, but I'm going to do just barely under that at a 7.9 out of 10. But this is coming from somebody that does not like romantic movies. You know, I can watch them. They're never bad. They're not really my style. They're never going to get an 8, and they're never going to get this high of a score. So it ended up being something I did really enjoy. you need to watch Past Lives. Really good movie, really well directed, really amazing, subtle, dramaticness. Check this movie out, guys. I love y'all. Peace.